Smithsonian Mittens de Aileros, head of the Grand Council of Cats. I have not been gone for so long as for there to be such a great disturbance in this world, Mittens states, her tone demanding answers. I just left Olympus. Aside from this child's soul being misplaced, something has happened to put the new gods in an uproar.
Well then, there is your answer, Yuri responds dryly. Even us mortals are not so blessed as to cause such chaos that it requires divine intervention. It must be the work of another god.
Even if you're correct, who could it be? The Olympian gods have absolute control over their respective domains.
Olivia Quinn comments.
Perhaps one of the ancient ones? Matthew Walker proposes. No, Asher responds. The ancient ones are bound by their own magic, and they cannot intervene with the affairs that happen within this world.
And is that what Gaia has told you? Headmistress Valentine asks.
Yes, the monk responds. The Order of Our Holy Lady has been monitoring the recent disturbances, and they are definitely not the work of an ancient one.
An old god, perhaps, Catherine Dupont suggests.
They have all been banished to Tartarus, Matthew Walker says.
Have they?
Olivia Quinn asks, her voice laced with skepticism. While the faculty members discuss the possibilities, Mittens goes over to Yuri Romanov, looking up at the sleeping kitten as she says, How have you been, little one? The kitten blinks open bright blue eyes, yawns adorably, and peeks her head out of the cloak as she responds, I'm scared. It was dark for a long time, and then I saw Papa again. But I don't like being a cat. You said you can help? I can tell that you're powerful. You have a strong magical core, like Papa. I do, and I believe that I can, the demigod responds gravely. But it would require you to come with me for a while. I will take you somewhere safe, to a place for your soul to recover, and your Papa can work towards building you a new body. The kitten glances up, moving to climb down the front of Yuri's cloak, and the battle magician immediately reaches a hand up to place her on his lap, so that she is eye level with Mittens. Anna looks up at her father questioningly.
It is your choice, Anna, he murmurs, trying to keep his voice reassuring.
Will I see Papa again? Anna asks Mittens. That is the hope, little one. It will take time, and, as well as a great deal of magic, to acquire the components needed to create a lifelike simulacrum.
Time is not the problem, Yuri asserts, exchanging a subtle glance with Headmistress Valentine, who nods in understanding.
Anna looks up at her father, nudges his hand with her small nose, as if in reassurance, and turns towards Mittens as she says, If Papa trusts you, then I will too. Mittens nods gravely and responds, Very well, little one. We will begin immediately, as we cannot afford to delay any longer. With that, the demigod reaches up with her teeth to gently grab the kitten by the scruff of her neck. Anna does not protest as she is carried out.
Yuri watches them go with a soft sigh, unwilling to turn back to his colleagues until Mittens and Anna both disappear out of sight. Finally, the battle magician turns back to the rest of the faculty and interjects. So, we suspect that a god has run rogue, but we have no idea as to who.
Welcome to Arcadia Academy, the elite school for magicians. Here, we teach our students to prepare for battle like Athena, but fight like Ares. All of our students have the opportunity to learn battle magic should they choose. But remember, great magic requires sacrifice.
Wait.
Wait, what, Logan? That was perfect, except it wasn't recorded.
That was so funny.
Never mind, go ahead.
All right, guys, we're aiming for 2 sessions tonight. Okay.
Woo.
Cool.
Trying to get back to normal. Hi guys, and welcome to Arcadia Academy. I'm Kelly, your DM for this campaign. Joining me today are Betty, who plays Cassandra,
Why, hello.
Cecil, who plays Jean-Baptiste,
Good evening.
Caleb, who plays James,
Hey.
Logan, who plays Demetrius,
Hey, everyone.
Nick, who plays Alex,
What's up?
and occasionally we'll be graced by Rosie, our resident cat dragon. Fun fact, she's actually sitting right next to me on the ottoman, so we might actually hear her this time. So, when we last left off, after experiencing nightmares amongst yourselves, you eventually learn that the rest of your fellow first years appear to be suffering from the same plight. All except for Mariana, who seems unaffected for some reason. You guys also learned that the older students have been having dreams, but not nightmares. Additionally, you learned that Olivia Quinn, whose discipline is divination magic, has been having unusual dreams and difficulty interpreting them. On top of that, she has been slow to recover from the attack at open house, so you guys also haven't seen her since then. You guys attempted to speak with Headmistress Valentine about the nightmares, and the only thing you gleaned was the suspicion that she knows something, but she doesn't really share what that something is with the rest of you. JB and Alex attempt to talk to Mariana, but things don't go quite as you guys expected. Do you want to share about that with the rest of your fellow party members?
Before they do that, I just want to say, I warned you. I told you so. Sorry, I just had to.
Just because you warned us doesn't mean we weren't going to try.
That's fair, that's fair. It was a good effort. I applaud your effort. It was also very amusing to listen to. But
It
yeah.
was.
I want to hear the story.
Yeah, so after the talk, Nick and Cecil, or Alex and JB, did you guys share the conversation with the rest of the party, or like how it went? Because JB tried to talk to her once, and then Alex tried to talk to her with the help of JB.
I don't recall if we circled back after that happened anyway. I think that was right at the end of the session, was it not?
It was right towards the end of the session. I actually have not listened to that episode yet. I'm still in the middle of editing it. I didn't listen to the end, so that's a first for me. I'm assuming that you guys like grouped back together, but also you guys would have picked up that Mariana's developed some sort of nifty little trick, quote unquote, that's left you guys kind of frustrated, if you guys remember what that is.
She can vanish. In some way, shape, or form, we don't know how, but she has this weird-ass fucking ability to disappear into a crowd.
Yep. So we're continuing basically immediately where we last left off, or at least everything so far has been happening in the span of a couple days in the same week. But since we were missing 2 people last time, let's start the session by having all of you guys roll a D100 and call high or low. I'm just going to call you guys in order, and you guys call it before rolling so that I'm not, So, Cassandra.
I'm going to stick with high. 53! Technically
Great.
high.
Yeah? So you continue to have the same dreams that you've been having about being back in the dungeon, about being tortured, but this time you actually remember it. And it's one of those things where
Yay.
it's that feeling of deja vu, except you find yourself actually remembering, oh, these were the nightmares that have been causing me such, distress.
Yay.
You still
I
can't make out a lot of
remember
details.
my nightmares now.
You can't make out a lot of details about the dungeon because you're being tortured and everything hurts.
Okay. And I still can't tell by whom or what?
It's the
Like, is it a
entity
physical
that tried to
object?
kidnap you and was at
Or is it
open house.
magic?
Wait, what?
Is it a physical object or is it magic?
What object?
That is affecting me. That I'm being tortured by. Is it a physical object or is it magic?
You would suspect a little of both. You can't really tell.
Okay. All right.
Cassandra,
Yeah.
next time you're being tortured, usually when I get tortured, I just yell pineapples and they stop. So
Oh my
you gotta-
god! Oh my god,
I'll
Logan.
try that next time in my dream and see what happens.
That would definitely make for an interesting,
That's your
Um,
safe word.
Wait, am I am I able to do anything in that dream?
You can try. What are you planning to do? You wouldn't be able to access magic because, at least your spells, because you don't have your spell book on you.
Well, I can do a cantrip. Those don't require my spell book. What cantrips do I have? Hold on, let me check.
Hi, Peanut. That's Peanut, right?
It's a puppy.
It was me.
He's just barking at everything and anything now.
Well, as soon as I said that's Peanut, I realized that everyone else has dogs as well, except for Betty, who is on an island.
Technically, right now I'm at home and on the mainland, not on an island, but I still don't have a cute puppy.
Well, I remember your family doesn't have. Yeah, your family doesn't have pets.
You don't have pets. So sad. Okay, so I would like to do 2 things. If you would let me do 2 things,
Possibly.
or attempt to do 2
You
things.
can attempt.
Okay, so the first thing I would do, I would try to yell out, "Who are you? Why are you doing this to me?" And I'm not going to actually
Okay.
yell it in character because I don't want to scare my
Sure.
house.
Your parents.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? What kind of weird games are you playing?
But yeah.
I would like to not have this conversation with your parents either, so thank you.
So yeah, that. What happens? Am I able to do that?
So when you yell that out, you said, "Who are you and why are you doing this to me?"
Yes.
You get no response.
Okay. Second thing I would like to do, because I got no response, is I would like to try to. Am I tied? Can I use my hands?
Your hands are like manacled,
Okay.
like you're kind of hanging, almost dangling. Like your toes are barely touching the ground. Like you can't put the heel of your feet down.
Okay, but I can move my hands.
You can move your fingers, maybe your hands.
Okay. I will cast Firebolt. It does not require material components. It is just verbal and semantic.
Okay. So from where your position is, filled with, you're filled with frustration and pain and maybe anger at what's going on. You twist your hands around, try to point your fingers in a particular direction, and you call up the magic within you, and you try to cast Firebolt, and nothing happens.
No magic comes out?
Nope.
Cool. All right. That's all I wanted to do. Thanks.
Okay. So when you wake up, you remember that.
Great.
JB, Cecil, high or low?
Roll high.
Okay. Are we going to try for 5 for 5?
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so again, you are floating in darkness. And all of a sudden, you are turned into a voodoo doll and you're impaled by 1,000 sharp needles. And in the background, you hear this amused laughter echoing through your mind.
Why am I craving pineapples?
Oh my god. Are you saying that in the dream?
Yes, I say that in the dream.
Okay. So you say that, and the laughter abruptly dies off, and a voice says, "Pineapples, And you wake up, and you remember this dream.
Okay.
And when you wake up, you hear like the noisy munching of your familiar in the corner as they work through another box of cookies. And somehow the stack of cookies that you had, like originally, has somehow quadrupled, seemingly overnight.
Well, that's something.
All right. Alex, High or low?
Hmm.
You have a 1 and 2.
I'm gonna say high.
Okay.
Damn it.
You
40.
you have the same dreams that you've been having of being back in the woods, being back in the clearing, and seeing Alyssa. And you watch her being torn apart by a hail of thorns. And then when you run to try to help them, they dissipate, turning into the shadowy wisp that reminds you of the entity that you guys encountered at open house. And you wake up again disturbed by your dreams, but not remembering specific details.
I'm getting a bit annoyed that I can't remember these dreams.
All right. So James, I'm gonna have you roll 3 D100s. You're gonna call
Okay.
high or low.
Let's do low.
All low?
Sure.
Okay.
84, 81.
Okay. I just lost my notes. Okay. James,
Ease.
so you dream of what appears to be this ancient looking doorway carved into the side of a mountain. It opens up into complete total darkness, and a voice calls out, "Be careful where you step, child of the open flames." You don't recognize this voice.
Okay, so I have not heard it before.
Nope. It's unfamiliar. You don't recognize it in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And you step inside. And as you step inside, the torches light up from against the walls, illuminating a small entryway. But as you step closer, further in, the door abruptly slams shut behind you. And you see shadowy tendrils creep through the door to form the entity that almost killed your friends at open house. And it smiles a grotesque smile as it says, "Did you think I forgot about you, little fledgling?" And that's when you wake up, remembering this dream. Or at least this is what you remember out of your entire dream.
All right.
So, Demetrius, high or low?
We're gonna go. Let's go low.
Okay.
Woohoo! 25. I suck, but awesome at the same time.
So, Demetrius, you dream of Garrett dying in your stead. The light brush of his hand against your chest as he activates that gold star. The look of relief on his face. But instead of those last words of, "Oh, friend, I'm so glad that you're okay," he instead looks at you with this expression of loathing and this hatred in his voice as he says, "Why me, Demetrius? Why did I have to die for you? I'm dead, and I can't even find rest in the afterlife because I'm worried about you." And you wake up, those words echoing through your mind.
That's just mean.
Well, you called your roll, so you remembered your dream.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So it's been another restless, sleeping. It's been another restless night. Most of you, well, all of you slept pretty horribly.
Is because I wasn't here last session.
Uh-huh.
Is this the same dream as before? Can I remember that dream or no?
You guys didn't roll for that, so I'm gonna say that you've had kind of this bad feeling when you woke up, like this feeling of. I mean, how does Demetrius feel hearing Garrett say that to him?
He's sad. He's depressed.
So then you might wake up with this feeling of complete sadness and just maybe a little self-loathing.
Yeah.
So and that would have been a familiar feeling. Like you wake up and you're thinking, "Oh, so that's probably the dream I had before." Like that deja vu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So guys, what's going on?
Well, that depends on what day of the week it is.
We'll say it's the middle of the week, like Wednesday.
What time is it?
You guys woke up, so morning. You
Right.
guys can either be in class on your way to class, or we can move straight to the afternoon after classes. Your choice.
What was next on our list of plans of things to do? We needed. So
What was next on your guys' list?
we've talked to Mariana, or some of us have tried. I believe Demetrius also wanted to try talking to Mariana.
That's right. He
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
JB sets his new invisible familiar on Mariana.
yes.
He hasn't yet. He's mentioned it.
Blink ball game team with Mariana. Zone of truth and getting Mariana drunk.
So we should
I'm
probably
I'm
have
still all for that.
Demetrius talk to her first before we
Yeah.
zone of truth or get her drunk.
Well, out of all the plans that are not our backup plans, we have 2 left.
Okay. So
So
do we want to implement those 2 first? And then see what happens? We'll see what comes up the conversation and what comes out of the, like, a day or so, or I don't know, or a week, depending on how you all feels of what whatever the familiar sees.
can I get? Yeah, we could do the familiar thing, but can I get as much detail about you guys' conversation with her, other than her disappearing?
Yeah. I don't recall exactly.
She didn't really like talking to us at all. Period.
She was disinterested in information that John Baptiste was going to give her about her brother.
Like she just didn't want to talk about it now, or
She
Just-
wasn't interested at all. There was
Okay.
no interest on her part in finding out what John Baptiste had to tell her.
Oh yeah,
does she seem cold?
she said something had
Yes.
changed, right? And like she doesn't need the information anymore.
I think you guys were suspecting that something had changed
Oh, okay.
because Mariana was the one who approached JB asking, can you talk to the dead? And she reluctantly gave JB the information, like her brother's name and such.
Mm-hmm.
Like she might have found another route.
Mm-hmm. Have you told us his brother's name? What's her brother's name?
I don't think we had gotten that from.
No, we have it. I'm going back through my notes here. If
Leopold Valentine.
Leopold,
Oh,
yeah.
Leopold. Okay.
How did he die again?
We don't know.
He's not confirmed dead. He disappeared.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Mystery upon mystery, guys.
So, yeah, I'm all for waiting, or I'm all for butting in too. While we wait, it's up to you guys.
I feel like we should have at least Demetrius try one last time talking to her before we spy on her.
Yeah. I feel like we should give her like a cool down period of like a day or 2 after we had JB and James tried to talk to her. Wait, no, JB and Alex, sorry.
So John Baptiste is going to hear you guys say this, and then he's still going to have his imp spy on her.
I feel
Gotcha.
I still think that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
But if you didn't tell me this, I don't know it, but I would agree with you.
He's like, you have my vote, even if you don't actually have my vote. Oh, I moved my mic. Yeah, that. So, quick question, JB. So, Nisbet can turn invisible, but
He can also turn into a bird, a spider, and a rat.
Okay, so how are you going to do this? Like, what form is he going to take and such? And how stealthy is he?
Well, that was going to be my question. If there's enough room under the door for him to sneak in as a spider, and then he can turn into an imp and be invisible. With the fly speed, he can
Into
get
what
up
door?
into her bedroom door.
Okay, so you're going to send Nisbet in the form of a spider to try to go to Mariana's room and such?
Yeah, so get under the door as a spider and then turn
Okay.
into an imp inside, and then he can become invisible. And as he can fly, he can get up to the ceiling and stay hidden out of sight up high.
Okay. First off, do you guys know where Mariana's room is?
I believe we do. I seem to recall a conversation with her near her room.
It also wouldn't be very difficult to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
True. Okay. Also, other quick question. Have you guys all marked your rooms with lights? Okay, perfect. So let me try to make those permanent. What layer do I move it to make it not movable by you guys?
Map layer.
Thank you. Yeah, let's do that because I deleted it last time, not knowing what you guys were doing. This is cute and clever.
Thank you, thank you. It uses all of our colors, so if anyone changes colors, then
Screw you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you need to pick a color for
Let me do
Mariana.
that real quick. So yes, you guys are able to figure out where Mariana's room is. So we'll say a couple hours passes, you send Nisbet in the morning or whatever. He comes back a couple hours later. I don't remember what voice I used for Nisbet. Nisbet! No. Fuck.
Close, I think.
Okay. Master, Nisbet is unable to go to the room.
All right. Well, you tried. Have some cookies, I suppose.
Master is too kind. But he happily helps himself to a cookie. So Caleb, Nisbet is JB's familiar.
Got you.
He is obsessed with cookies.
Fair enough.
Interestingly enough, JB, throughout the day you hear whispers, a little confused whispers about cookies going missing from like the pantries in the cafeteria.
Okay.
All right, so what's next?
Demetrius, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Demetrius,
Hello.
how do you want to do this?
Do what? I'm sorry.
How are you gonna approach Mariana to talk to her?
They've
all decided that it's Demetrius's turn to try to talk to Mariana.
Yeah. I don't know. What time of the day is it right now?
It's daylight.
Daylight. I'm gonna do it very relaxed. Whenever I find an opening, either through breakfast, I'll sit down with her, or in the hallways, or whatever way I can find an opening to have a moment to talk.
Okay. So are you actively looking for opportunities then?
I'm going about my daily life, but actively keeping an eye out for her.
Okay. If you're doing that, I'll say that you would have noticed that Mariana does not join you guys during meal times. Whether she's eating elsewhere or doing whatever, you don't know, but she does not join you guys. She is like not noticeably absent, but because you're looking for her, you would notice that you don't see her. You do see her in classes, so if you're trying to catch her in the hallways between classes or after school or whatever, you can attempt to do so.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so are you trying to catch up to her like after classes one day?
I'm trying to see when would be the best.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say probably last period. That way, well, how long do we have till like between classes, roughly?
Like 30 minutes.
Oh wow.
Ish.
Okay. Then
it depends because the classes sometimes they end early, sometimes they run a little later, but you guys generally have quite a bit of free time between your classes. Okay, maybe not that much free time, but you guys have free time between classes.
Well, if I have 30 minutes, then I'm gonna use one of those 30 minutes because it will give me an excuse to bail out if need be.
Okay.
So, whichever, I don't know what we're having, what classes we have today, but
it's fine.
I would say
after class, are you running after her? Are you?
is she always the first one in and last one out, or last one in?
She's not really the first or the last. She's kind of like she usually comes early, and she doesn't leave first, but she's usually one of the people who leave sooner rather than later.
Okay.
She doesn't seem hurried, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay. Then I will stay a little bit behind her, and then once she gets out and rounds a corner or whatever, I'll just say, "Hey, Mariana, wait up."
She kind of glances over her shoulder. She doesn't stop walking, but she slows down just the tiniest bit.
Okay.
And kind of just raises an eyebrow looking at you.
I just how long since Garrett's death? give or take?
It's like the week following his death, so it's only been a
Okay.
couple days.
Okay.
Well, maybe like 4 or 5 days, but it's less than a week.
Okay. Then I say, how you holding up?
In regards to,
You know, everything that's been going on with Garrett passing. I know you guys were really good friends.
why do you care?
Well,
And you guys are like kind of walking and talking as
Yeah.
she's
well, Garrett was the one who basically saved my life, and I feel horrible, and I'm trying to help. That's all. I want to help. And if you
And
need anything,
how are you correlating his death with your wanting to help?
well, you guys were good friends. I know you were. I spoke with him. He always hung out with you, and I figured you might be in a bad place right now, and I was just seeing if you just need anyone to talk to. I just want to let you know that I'm here.
Well, thank you, son of House of Pedos. I will consider your words.
Thank you.
And with that, she kind of like moves to walk away.
Okay.
Like she's not asking your permission, she's just like turning to walk away, like a different
Yeah.
direction.
I didn't think this far ahead. Sorry. I'll just say, one more thing. Do you want to hang out later?
She kind of turns back as she's already like 2 or 3 steps away as you were thinking, and she says, "No, thank you." And then she turns, walks into the crowd of students, and seemingly disappears in front of your eyes.
Okay.
Are we around, or are they?
Did you guys follow after Demetrius, knowing that he was trying to talk to Mariana?
James would have, yeah, probably.
Alex would have just stayed out of view, but definitely would have been trying to listen in a little. Probably
Okay.
talking to James at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you can attempt to roll me perception checks.
Okay, can I also cast see invisibility?
Cast what?
See invisibility.
Nice. Nice,
Let me
nice.
see.
Using
Sure.
my nipping thingamabobber.
Yep. So that's the spell you're choosing for the day?
Yes.
Okay. So, James, when you cast the invisibility, you definitely see the outline of Mariana making her way through the crowd of students.
I'll motion to Alex to kind of follow, and I will attempt to follow her.
Okay, Alex, you would have caught a glimpse of Mariana in the crowd, and then she would have disappeared before your eyes.
Cool.
Like, literally, like, you blinked and she was gone.
I follow James.
Okay, how long does see invisibility last?
I believe it is an hour. Yes, 1 hour.
Okay.
I would also like to cast Detect Magic at around the same time.
Mm.
I know, like,
Like-
this entire school
Yeah.
is like nothing but
School
magic.
One big beacon of
So,
magic.
like, everything would fucking glow before your eyes then. How I...
But the thing is, like, technically, it's up to you if you think that detect magic would detect the magic, like, within a person, or if it would detect it, like, just on top of a person. I feel like
So,
usually it's on top
the
of.
way I've tried to separate magic with Arcadia is, yes, there's schools of magic, but then, like, discipline magic works a slightly different way. I haven't figured out the super technicalities of it yet. I don't want you to waste a spell slot, but like Nick, Alex, when you cast Detect Magic, as you are in a literal fucking school of magic and everyone's got magic or charms or talismans of some kind, everything would probably glow and almost give you like an epilepsy. So I feel like Alex might have thought twice about casting it. Maybe knowing that, you know, everything here has magic. And with your observation skills and seeing all that. So if you want that spell slot back, you can have it. Otherwise, you can have a headache.
Then, you know what? Just because I feel like we're going to need it, just in case, I would like to cast Enhance Ability on James, giving him, let's do Cat's Grace. You now have advantage on all dexterity checks.
Great.
Cool.
So, James, as you and Alex are following, are you guys trying to be stealthy about it?
Yeah. I mean,
Roll stealth checks and add
have
whatever
advantage.
modifiers you guys have.
You have advantage to that stealth.
thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Hold up, I have to see what armor I'm wearing. Chainmail.
I'm gonna send Alex a message and ask him what he's doing.
Alex
Hold up.
Do I-
is like, I don't know. I'm just doing the thing he said.
Do I see
have
them
this-
doing this?
Okay, so
Disadvantage on
Caleb
my
rolls
stealth.
an 11 with advantage, and Nick rolls a 10. So you guys balanced each other out. As it is, between classes and people are moving around, Mariana doesn't seem to have noticed that you guys are following her, as everybody is walking to class or going somewhere between class.
Oh, and I replied to Mariana, not Mariana, Cassandra. My bad.
Mhm.
So many names.
There's literally two females.
I
Well,
replied.
and Sophie and Rosie and
Two females in the scene.
Alyssa. Okay.
I would reply to Cassandra's message. I'm following James. Would James have told me that he sees an invisible Mariana?
Yeah.
I'm following James, following an invisible Mariana.
I'm gonna message back. Do either of you have a way to let me know which way she's going? Like once you find out. Like, do either of you have message?
Negatory on James.
Okay.
Also negatory on Alex. No.
Okay.
But I will tell you where she went.
Okay.
If we find out where.
I will check back in with you in, I don't know, 5 minutes and let me know where you are. And I'll go a different way.
Sounds good.
Did I see these two guys run off in her direction, or am I just?
If you're
went
looking in
wrong?
the direction that Mariana went, you might have noticed your friends kind of going in that direction. So it's up to you if you think Demetrius would have followed out of curiosity or personal reasons or whatever.
Where are we?
Trying to be stealthy.
I'm going to avoid, because the best part about tailing is trying not to be obvious.
Yeah, so
Right.
I'm not
And-
joining. Wait, where
So-
where
Okay.
are we?
You guys would be probably in the classrooms.
Okay.
Or the building with the classrooms.
Okay.
So Mariana's heading out. So you guys, over the course of the next hour, are you guys staying within 30 feet, or are you guys lingering back because you rolled horribly on stealth? Well, I mean, you might not know that in character. So you guys think you're stealthy.
We think we're stealthy.
Yep. So you guys think you're stealthy. Alex is like, I think I'm doing pretty well, even wearing chainmail armor. And James is like, yeah, I'm good.
Clank, clank,
So-
clank.
Mariana kind of slowly makes her way around the campus. She stops in front of the library, like she's. Well, with see invisibility, you don't actually see them. You see like an outline of them, right?
Let's see.
According to the
You
language.
see invisible creatures and objects as if they're invisible, and you see into the ethereal plane. So
Oh.
He sees her as if he would see her regularly.
right.
Okay, so then you would see her looking towards the library, like she's thinking about what, if she's gonna go in, but eventually she doesn't.
Okay.
She takes her
Interesting.
time going up the stairs, and she stops in front of her classroom. I mean, not classroom, her bedroom. Places
Okay.
a hand on the door, and kind of leans against it for several minutes. And then she walks off.
Do I see her lips moving at all during that time? I mean, she's invisible. I can't see. Never mind.
You can't. Yeah.
Do I hear her mutter anything with my observant?
No, like you feel like you wouldn't. If James hadn't said, "Hey, she's invisible," you wouldn't even have guessed that she was there.
Does she have greater invisibility?
She is so.
Greater invisibility lasts for a
Silent.
lot longer.
Yeah, because normal invisibility,
Um,
like if you cast a spell, it wears off, right?
If you attack.
Oh, if you attack, but not if you just like cast random spells.
Well, it lasts for an hour and it's been like 15 minutes.
No, but she's asking if it would drop invisibility. I think invisibility, you only lose it if you attack with a spell.
Okay, not if you like use like
You're
a
talking about
utility
the spell, right?
Yeah, the spell invisibility.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. Just to make sure. Invisibility.
I think if you cast, also it
The
drops.
spell ends for the target that attacks or casts a spell. Yeah, so she can only keep invisibility up.
Yeah, so if she casts a spell,
Um,
then she will lose invisibility. Unless this is a discipline
Unless she's
thing.
not. And she can hold it for a lot longer.
Ah.
Quick side question. What's is in this world? Is there different types of invisibility? So like, can we like? Is she actually like invisibility, or is it like things are reflecting off of her, making her unable to be seen?
Hey, Logan.
Hmm.
I want you to take inspiration because that's a really fucking good question.
Okay.
And I will tell you that there are the invisibility spells, and then there are certain disciplines that can manipulate things, whether it be
Wait a minute.
illusions or light.
She is a
Or-
light discipline from what we've been able to gather.
Mm. So
I think we just figured out how she's remaining invisible.
Well, it makes
She's
sense.
just reflecting the light off of her. That is
That's-
smart.
Clever girl.
clever. Good.
Clever girl.
Oh, you're making my head explode, guys. Oh yeah, I need to make a
So-
note. Logan, you have to make note that I gave you inspiration because I may not remember this.
Oh, I'll remember how awesome I am.
There's
Okay.
buttons
Oh,
on.
But
Yeah,
really,
there's a
that's
button
very
on
good
your
question.
character sheet.
There is.
Yeah.
So I'll make a
Um,
note of it at the end of the session if I remember. But yes. Or actually, I can make a note in my Google Doc right now.
Well, I'm away from my computer at the moment, so I apologize.
No worries. Logan gets inspiration.
Oh. So
And then my other question is, so he can see her. Is that invisibility kind of like, is it the same like revealing visibility, or can he kind of like see the lights like bouncing off of her? That's my. I'm just
I'm
seeing
just
how
gonna
cool it is.
I would say that you wouldn't see the light bouncing off of her. He would literally, the way I see it is like kind of how you said, like you see her as she is. You would kind of just see her, like
Okay.
her person. So that James wouldn't have immediately figured out. Oh, it's because it's like some sort of light manipulation.
Gotcha.
Because that's not what see invisibility does.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So
As soon as I realize we have to start getting back to class, I'm going to whisper to James. By the way, how far does she get in between classes while this is happening?
Mariana does not return to class. If you guys head off to class, like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be late, and you guys go to your next class, you would have noticed she's not there.
Good to know.
I say skip
can we
class.
see what I'm tempted to, honestly.
So you guys go to class, you guys sit down, realize she's not there, you guys make to get up and leave.
Well, no. So before, I want to at least wait until like the very last minute and see what direction she's heading.
Okay.
Like, just not towards class.
So after she does the thing where she like leans against the door to her bedroom for a little bit, she heads over to the common area, and she, as far as you guys see, she stays there. She looks like she's reading a book, not paying attention to what's happening around her.
Is this at the end of the day? Do we have any more classes?
This is in between classes, so you guys would have one more class.
Okay. How much time do we have in between classes?
About
Half
30
hour.
minutes upwards. If your class ends super early, you could have hours, but usually it's about 30 minutes, give or take.
Okay. I'm going to message. Well, I'm assuming it's been around in 5 minutes or whatnot since the last time I sent the message. I will message Alex again, asking you guys where you are.
So
James
she's
would have pointed out that she stood at her door for a bit. and maybe mess with her wards on her door? Question mark.
Okay.
I relay that back.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to join you and potentially cast Identify on the door.
Good call. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask either you to identify it or maybe a detect magic to see what she's doing in the door.
Yeah. Let's just do a full-on Identify. It's gonna take me it will take me 11 minutes because I'll do it as a ritual. Actually, no, I'll just do it as a spell. Just taking me a minute. Oh wait, I don't have it prepared. Shit. Okay, ritual it is. Ritual, 11 minutes.
So Cassandra,
Yeah.
you have to touch the object. Are you going to be touching the door?
Yeah, I'll touch the door.
Oh,
When you put
boy.
your hand on the door, it shocks you.
Oh, yep.
Fun. Okay. I'm gonna.
Does
do I get
Mariana-
damage?
Does Mariana make any?
I didn't write out. You know what? Take like 1 lightning damage.
Okay.
Like
Fair.
it was a warning. It wasn't like,
Okay.
like
I'd like to do it
Does
again.
Mariana
So-
jump up? Oh, hey.
I want to know if it's a one-time
so
thing.
do you like jerk your hand back and you put your hand back
Yeah.
on? You take another point of damage.
Oh well, fuck.
Does she react in any way to? Does
Yeah.
Mariana react in any way to the door going off?
So is Cassandra like standing there and the rest of you guys are like in the common area spying on
James-
Mariana?
yeah.
So if she turned around, she would see you
So
guys.
I
maybe.
would try twice. Doesn't work. Go into my room.
Okay. So you
And I
go
would
into
just
your room.
I would just walk into my room and like gesture everyone to go in there and close the door, and then tell
Okay.
them what happens quietly.
Okay.
How far is it to the common rooms from our little wing?
Not that far.
The common area is like on the opposite side of the windows. Oh, are you talking distance?
Yeah.
Like, how
What
long
does
would
my-
it take her to get there?
Right.
Like a good. Well, I guess it depends on what side of the stairs she comes from. We'll say anywhere from like 5 to.
Like, if
10
she
minutes?
runs, then she'll like. It depends on if she's gonna run that. Like, it's
Fuck! How fast?
It's like 400 feet. So more than 400 feet.
30 feet per 6 seconds.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's in combat. Like, if you're leisurely walking or even in a hurry outside of combat, we'll say anywhere
can
from 5 to
easily-
10 minutes, depending on how much of a rush she's in.
Yeah,
Alright.
can easily
Then, so we're all in
You guys are all hiding out in
Cassandra's
Cassandra's room.
Okay.
So
James
if-
will crack the
18
door
seconds.
and just
So,
keep an eye
first question: are all of you guys ditching class?
That's
Oh
what-
well, this
that
was in
my
between
question.
class.
No, I
Yes,
think we're
but so Alex and James had said they were gonna keep an eye on her until the last minute and then run to class. So it sounds like maybe there was a change of plans. You guys are all like, okay, let's meet up with Cassandra and we'll do the thing. So are you guys are trying to do this between class? You guys don't plan to skip, or you guys plan to skip and finish investigating?
Cassandra does not plan to skip. If
Okay.
there is time for her to get here, do identify, get back to class. That is her plan.
Okay. So
what,
you
what's
keep
cha-
touching the door and you keep taking damage. How many times are you gonna try this?
I just did it twice.
Okay, I'm gonna say that because you couldn't touch the object you're trying to do the thing on, you're not able to successfully cast a spell.
Okay. So yeah, so then that wouldn't even have taken 10 minutes then.
Yeah.
It would need to. Okay, that's fair.
Literally, you would have been like, okay, I'm gonna do the spell. You grab your spell book in one hand, you touch the door, zap. Let's try again. You touch the door, zap. Okay, never mind, not casting the spell.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So
touch it again. I think the third time.
Third time's when we
Fine.
unleash the boss.
The rest of you guys are when Cassandra's doing the thing, are you guys like investigating the door? I don't know, like what's going on?
You know, seeing
would've-
her get. If you're actively telling us you're getting zapped, then I would cast Detect Magic to see if there's any evocation.
good call.
Now I'll spend the spell slot to be able to look at the door to see what there is different between her door
Well-
and everyone
Ooh.
else's. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about Cassandra. I already know Cassandra already has special wards on her door, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about everyone
You said-
else.
You said
As well.
evocation?
Or any kind
Well,
of
if-
school of magic. Oh, my hero
Yeah.
hat.
My
guess
brain as a
this would
player,
fall
my
under
brain as a player
abjuration for detect
jumped to Evo.
magic, but you also would have known that there are several different types of protective wards and spells that magicians can craft. So part of this is homebrew. The category I'm giving you is going to be abjuration, but it doesn't necessarily mean there are abjuration spells on the door. But it could also be a combination. You're not
Well,
super sure.
I think
You
what
know
he's trying
that
to get
there
is
is-
like if
there are-
there's a difference between the two doors and what that difference is.
Yeah, I'm looking for, because now I can see all the magical runes on the door. What's causing this one to zappy zap, and why come the other
So-
doors don't zappy zap?
If you walk down, I guess, the hallway and you look at the other doors, most of them would have very similar patterns, and you would infer that that's like the school's generic protections. Okay, you would look at Cassandra's and you assume that those are additional spells to prevent, traveling and to prevent her being abducted by, magical trance location. In comparison to all of that, Mariana's door looks like Fort Knox. You don't quite understand how the symbols work in conjunction to one another. It's almost overwhelming with how much there is.
Alex, can you tell if this is clearly something a student would do or a teacher might be able to do? How complex is it?
Would I be, since I can technically tell the magical presence, can I tell it by going off of the other doors, including Cassandra's, with it being super advanced? Would I be able to tell if this is something she has done? Or if this is something that a master level magician would have put up?
Oh, Rosie.
Wow, she is very vocal tonight, guys. And she's literally across the apartment. She's got a loud meow. You're unsure. Because it's just, think of when you're messing with the formula to create something. Sometimes you do it and it's like a happy accident. Sometimes you do it, you know what you're doing, and sometimes you're just batshit crazy and you know. So based and also, Alex, you haven't had a lot of experience with say learning even the complexity of runes and wards. That's something you guys haven't learned yet. And even reading through textbooks, there's it's kind of like when you're beginning to learn a language for the first time, everything looks really, really hard. It's kind of like that. All you know is that compared to every single other door on the floor outside of Cassandra's, it's a fuck ton. It's a lot.
Okay, so it's only her that has that on her door, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna, if this is something that Alex tells us, then
Yeah, Alex would definitely have been like, someone really doesn't want anyone getting
I'm
into
gonna
that
suggest
room.
that. So maybe it's almost time for class. We can go to class and then maybe we can take a tour around the upperclassmen room doors and see if they have anything on their doors.
Are you guys gonna have Alex running down the stairs and through the hallways of the room?
What is not running? It just take walk, just
well, because
walking through. It's
detect
fine.
magic lasts 10 minutes. So if you're doing that and you're trying to jog or whatever.
Yeah. We are.
I was definitely thinking that.
So you want to do that?
Going
You
to
guys are
have
heading
Alex
Okay.
at least quickly jot down the ruins, or at least describe them to Cassandra.
I always have a
They're
book.
very incredibly intricate and complex. It would take you more than 10 minutes to try to copy it by hand if you were to do that.
Well, he doesn't need all of them. Just some of them should work.
Yeah, just the major ones that stand out to me as mega different.
Okay. And
any one of the schools of magic that would seem to be a bit more dangerous
There
or
is
meant
heavy
to
abjuration.
do harm. Whatever you can come up with abjuration magic, there's a lot of that on that door.
Did a cat try to bite you?
No, She's
Mariana
no,
just
Rosie
killed
is
Kelly.
front body clawed, but her back paws are her nails on the back paws are super sharp because she won't let me touch them. So she just had to climb up my arm, onto my
Fun.
shoulder, and dug her fucking little claws into my ankles. So that was fun.
Fun.
Yeah. Rosie,
Oh,
exactly.
Rosie.
But she likes to sit on my chair, so she's probably coming back. But heavy abjuration, and I don't know. Let me see.
Kelly, I need to leave for a bit and then I'll come back.
Okay, when you come back, you'll be rolling up a new character. Just kidding.
Rude. I already have to make another one. I know.
This isn't
I'm gonna
TOA.
make 2 new characters.
Kidding.
This isn't
This isn't.
TOA.
Yeah, this
but
isn't
anyways,
TOA.
Well,
This is
kind
a
of.
safe
Much
space
safer
here.
than TOA, I think. Okay, so
Yes.
Cassandra will BRB. But the thing that would have stood out to you, Alex, would have been the abjuration. Bells or runes or whatever. Just
Got it.
you don't know what they do exactly. But you would infer that they have to do with protecting or preventing people from going inside Mariana's room.
They
Question
really don't
is
want us.
that
Is it Mariana's doing, or is it the school's?
well, she did just sit there for a couple of minutes and put her hand to her door. So my guess is that she's hiding something in her room that does not want to be found.
Is
So
it?
I highly doubt that this has the school's blessing.
Kelly, what's the rules on people customizing?
It's
their
allowed.
doors
You
and
guys
their
were given
stuff
like almost carte
in the
blanche
school?
in decorating your rooms and such. The only thing that they said don't do is like
No, not
don't
decorating.
basically
Like
like don't
decorate
blow
it.
up or demolish your room.
Modify.
But you have free reign to decorate it as much as
No,
you'd like.
magically modify.
And it's almost unspoken
Lock traps,
like amongst the upper years, but at some point eventually everybody dabbles into like protective wards and runes and they test it out on their doors. So Alex, are you planning to keep looking at doors as you guys head downstairs to class?
I guess I would keep an eye out to see if there's any. If I can pass by and note and see if there's any strange ruins for
So
as long
as
as the
you
spell
head downstairs,
lasts.
kind of maybe
Anything.
walking through a hallway here or there, as you guys are headed all the way down, you would notice that there are, as far as you can see from the quick glimpse that you're getting, that none of the other rooms that you see, even amongst the upperclassmen, appear to be as heavily fortified in whatever way, shape, or form as Mariana's room, or as the door for Mariana's room.
And Alex will definitely tell this to everyone, including JB and Demetrius. None of the. I'm not going through the entire building.
Yeah,
constantly
but from like the
casting
10
detect
minutes or
magic.
whatever. Like,
No,
I assume
you
you're
don't-
peeking into the hallway of each floor, just looking at like 3 or 4 doors here and there.
Yeah, but where Mariana's friends?
Mariana
first year,
doesn't
right?
have any friends,
No,
remember?
she has that one girlfriend.
Okay, so Renee, so you
I can't
totally missed
remember
this
her name.
conversation, but when JB talked with Renee basically was the one who said Mariana doesn't have friends. Because JB had pointed out that Mariana and Renee were friends, and Renee was the one who said, Mariana doesn't have friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know if that was because Garrett had died or just as a general with her. We're going to find out later, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds like someone needs to get drunk.
It really sounds like we're going to. Like, we're running out of options.
Okay,
here.
so all of you guys are going back to class?
Yeah.
You didn't
I
follow
think
them, so
I didn't follow
Demetrius,
them,
would
so
you
I
have gone
assumed that
to
I
your
was-
next class, or would you have like...
Yeah, I
Okay,
would hang out with
JB, what's
wherever
going on
he's
with
at.
you?
Well, he wasn't aware of all of the shenanigans following Mariana, so he was just
Gotcha.
in his room,
Okay.
and then he's going to
So
leave and go
then
to
you
class
all
when
go
it's
to
class
class, and if you guys, as you guys have been keeping an eye on Mariana, you would have noticed that she does not show up to class. So class goes by as normal. You guys still don't see Professor Yuri Romanov. Headmistress Valentine still sits in, and she sits in on both the battle magic class as well as overseeing kind of the discipline instruction. and you guys don't know where Renee's room is. You guys wouldn't know. So what's next?
That is a very good question. What is our next step, guys? What do we do next about this whole Mariana might be a secret bad guy thing? Because it's really starting to come out to be like that. Right? Can we agree that this is just a little bit too suspicious?
Not necessarily, because all we know for sure is she likes to skip classes to read in the park.
So do you guys share this
So-
information with
Also,
Demetrius too?
sort of-
I think Demetrius wouldn't think of it as
Yeah.
super unusual because families of nobility also tend to be very paranoid about like, protection and about keeping their secrets and keeping their valuables. But also Demetrius has not like seen the amount of protections on Mariana's door. But if he's just hearing, yeah, she seems really paranoid in some way, shape, or form, he might be like, okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure you don't understand the scale of how many protective wards were on her door in comparison to even
Well,
yours.
Demetrius, I mean, do you have any additional protections? Do you think your family would have sent you off with a couple Opados family secret like protections?
I would assume so, but
I would assume so too. So maybe Demetrius would have had a couple special things on his door, but again, nothing compared to Mariana's door.
to be honest, he's not the greatest at spells, so he probably doesn't even know what's on his door.
Yeah, so maybe like in your first week of classes, your mom would have sent Butch and Cassidy with like a couple, runes and stuff. Like, here you go, son. I know how you're just learning magic, and here you go.
Yeah. So, but still, other than that, I do find her probably our main suspect in whatever she's doing. She still hasn't done anything to actually like say, okay, we got a full out like yeah.
Stop
I mean,
her.
as much as I want to get her drunk and tell the truth, we have no questions to ask. So
Okay, so
I say we still let the imp
what's
do its thing,
okay? So JB,
or we continue to tailor every day with the invisibility thing maybe after classes time, not during classes, and see if something's changed. If she just sits in the park and reads, then that's a thing, and then that's nothing. Or maybe she's using that as a cover, and she's maybe talking to somebody else, like some people, like spies do on like park benches.
okay. Oh God.
Whatever you guys think.
All right.
That's my 2 cents. So until we get hard evidence, very difficult to say, unless somebody has a better idea.
Question is, do we have a better
I
idea?
mean, we don't know much. If we can throughout the next few days or whatever, or depending on our scenarios, Kelly, Demetrius wants to continue to try to do some small talks with Mariana, more of like more than normal, more like just saying, hey, how are you, whatever, and then leave the day. He wants to just plant a seed essentially, because he knows flat out talking to her is not going to be a good thing. So he's just slowly building up her trust.
Okay, so everybody else is going to try to be hyper vigilant, watching Mariana while Demetrius tries to make small talk, and JB has Nisbet trail her.
I don't think that's beneficial at all. No. What are the windows like to our rooms?
Your windows are fairly luxurious, all things considered. But if you're looking specifically to see if you can look into Mariana's room, you would have seen that it's like curtained off or something. You can't look into it.
Right. I was thinking more along the lines of, do the windows open, or how difficult would it be to get a window open?
That would probably depend on if you lock your windows or if you don't, or if you add something extra to prevent them from being opened.
All right. Never mind that idea.
Also,
I don't think the imp is going to have any luck getting information following her around. He would probably just
Okay.
get caught and killed.
Aw.
also, Nick, you need to get those ruins, whatever ruins that we got, translated to the best of our ability, so we kind of know what we're dealing with if by chance we need to go into that room. So, and if that takes like a day or multiple days, that's our first clue. That's the first thing we got.
Yeah, I can definitely put some time into doing that, sitting down and trying to draw them out so that we can research them later at the library or...
Well, the good thing is, if we do this multiple days, eventually you'll have all the ruins. If you want to do that way too.
About how long do you think it's going to take Alex, DM,
So,
to write down all of these complex ruins with sea invisibility and taking into account, avoiding Mariana to the best of our abilities?
okay. I don't really know how to, like, describe this, so I'm going to try. Have you ever written Chinese? Chinese characters. It's very
no.
complicated. It requires, like, a fine touch. Like, I write shit Chinese. It's almost like that. It's like you're attempting to learn Chinese or some other complicated language for the first time. It's complicated. So,
Doesn't mean I still can't sit there and trace it over.
how are you tracing it over?
It was more of a joke, but
Okay.
yeah.
And also, it's
Just
Alex
because I
going by
can't-
himself to do this. Are you guys like all just, like you're just sitting there in the middle of the hallway, trying to copy this down, or is someone like coming with him?
I'm going to need a lookout, at least somebody to keep a rough eye on, or at least make it seem like we're not doing anything.
Yeah, that. So, Alex, I guess you're on your own, and you're going to be the sacrificial lamb, and all these things.
Question, JB, can your imp see invisibility?
I don't believe so.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It can see in any. It doesn't have any issues with darkness, but it does not have any problem. I mean, if it's invisible, it's invisible.
And sadly, detect magic won't go off if she walks by. It has to be a visible creature. I can't see through invisibility
Well,
with detect magic.
I'm also curious what she does at night. Does she leave the room? Does she do whatever? But I mean, if the imp can sneak into her room, can she sneak into her room?
The imp
Okay,
could not sneak
because-
into the room.
okay.
It was not possible.
Nisbet was not successful.
Then could he be like
shocking
a
Valentine.
stay outside and see if the door opens in the middle of the night? But even if he can't see it, just the fact that we know that she walks around at night, and is it a
this.
consistent time every night?
Okay.
Ooh, that is
So Nisbet's going to do
important.
that. Is someone going to like be the lookout for Alex while he's trying to copy down these runes?
I think we should take turns to make it not noticeable all the time.
Yeah.
But also
Take
if
out
she's
ti-
invisible, not everyone can see. So I think James might have the better opportunity to do that.
Okay. So James, I forgot. Roll me a 1d6. Okay, 1 second. All right. So you guys take turns. Alex is attempting to copy down stuff, and James, Logan.
Sorry.
I mean Caleb. God damn it! Not sorry, Caleb.
Yes.
Okay, James. Hi.
Hi.
As your friend is sitting down, his eyebrows furrowed, like maybe biting his lip or tongue or whatever, as he's trying to figure out how to copy down these words, your theurge senses begin to tingle.
Like danger, as in like I'm being hailed.
Like you're being hailed.
All right,
Like
cool.
the bat signal's going up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we're mixing in all the superhero from today. All right. I will. I'll go talk to myself then, I guess.
Sure. And so you hear again in your own voice, your inner theurge goes, interesting. This girl is rather clever, even a touch paranoid. She has certainly put work into dissuading others from invading her privacy. But luckily for you, I recognize this work.
Well, can we disable it? Get around it? How do we?
I believe that I can assist you in neutralizing these protections. I can guide you through the process of creating a Gordian key. However, you will have to do all the work to find this protection's weak point, as I cannot physically do it for you. But if you are able to successfully do this, I should be able to assist you.
Will she know that it's been tampered with?
Well, she will see that the work has been dismantled, so yes.
Okay. All right. What does it require?
All right, James. So roll me an intelligence check to see how
Oh,
successfully
boy.
you can understand the instructions from your theurge.
Oh boy, I don't think James is a very smart boy. Is it intelligence check?
Yep.
Be smart, James.
Oh dear God, buddy.
Not smart
Oh,
boy.
oh,
Yeah.
That's a 6.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay, so God damn it. Okay. So, first, you're going to take your thumb and pointer fingers and hold them straight, forming an L with your left hand and a reverse L with your right.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you're going to turn your left hand 90 degrees to the right to form a loose screen, like when you focus a camera to take a photo.
Yeah, okay. I'm doing this in person too, by the way.
I need you to do it in person, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to give you the visual.
Uh-huh.
Then you are going to channel your magic into your hands to form a magical screen.
Okay.
And this is how you're going to be able to see the runes and words on the door.
Cool.
Cool. So, James, as you do this, your magic fills this screen that you've created, outlining several symbols and runes. You notice that it is beautifully placed, almost artistically. Like you have never seen such ornate looking runes or words. It's just super beautiful. So you kind of fumble your way through this a little bit, but eventually you kind of figure out what your theurge is trying to say. So when you are able to set up the screen, you feel a second current of magic running through it, and you easily recognize it as your theurge redirecting some of your magic, and the protective barrier glows with your combined magics. And then your theurge says, there, in the bottom right quadrant, do you see that spot that glows brighter than the rest?
I do?
That is the weakness. It is where you will need to place the Gordian key.
Good to know. How do I acquire such a key?
Well, in order to create a Gordian key, you will need to make the symbol. And this image appears in your mind of some sort of a triangular Celtic sort of knot.
Okay.
You must make the symbol with locks of hair from 3 different individuals. The locks of hair must be woven together, intertwined, and there must be enough to weave into the pattern.
Any people in particular? Or?
3 different individuals.
Okay. All right.
You're going to need some kind of length for the hair as you look at the symbol.
All right.
Where's Cassandra?
I'm just gonna like.
I mean, you can probably. I mean, I don't know how paranoid or worried she might be about giving her hair up for a spell, but I don't. How long did Betty say she was going to be gone?
She didn't say.
Betty.
Well, I don't want to do this now. As Alex is gonna copy, and I'll I guess jolt him out of it a little bit. And I hate to say that you wasted your time, but
You wasted your time.
but I think I can get us in if we need to.
Please explain.
Well, he'll look around, kind of like over both shoulders.
I also look around and with a 20 for my passive, do I hear anyone coming in? Any footsteps heading my way?
You've been sleep deprived, so go ahead and roll for it.
Damn. I can do this. Perception.
Cool.
20. That's like my passive.
You hear footsteps going up and down the stairs, but nothing immediately heading like down the corridor where you guys are.
I nod.
I'll answer your question with a question. Your magic, does it ever I might sound crazy for asking this. Does it ever talk to you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, cool. That would be crazy, right? Who would? That'd be wild. It was.
Insight check.
Are you go for
Yeah,
it?
Alex is going to
Hang on.
16.
Wait, where's my?
Versus what?
I'll roll. I'm pretty deceptive. So
You totally believe him.
yeah, Dame just kind of laughing
Yeah.
off. Yeah. So well, how do I explain this without being sounding even more crazy?
We're in a magical school. There isn't anything. We're spying on our
That is-
classmate with
that is true.
magic.
So well, I'll just be level with you. I can talk to my magical core, and it kind of chimes in and gives me advice from now and then. Most of it helpful. Sometimes it's just annoying, but I'll take
thanks.
I'll take the good and the bad. But you said a Gordian key, Kelly?
Yep.
Yep. So I found where the weak point is, and I'll point it out to him in the lower right portion. That is the weak spot, and I have to collect hair from 3 different people in order to make a key, so I can get us into. I can turn off rewards. Bad thing with that is that when she comes back around, she will know that her rewards have been disabled. So there's that.
So we have to do this at a time where we know she's not going to be around for at least a little bit. Got it. And Alex stands up from his drawing pad, puts a hand on his shoulder. That would have been useful information to know just before I started doing that. But hey, you know what? That's cool that you get to talk to your magic. At least you have some type of source guiding you through this.
That's nice. Oh wait.
God damn it. Nick, when you said, "Hey, that's nice, good for you," I choked on my dumplings.
Oh, man. Also, how do you feel about donating some hair to me?
About how long of hair are we talking
Great
about
question
here?
about how long you're talking about here.
At least, like, you're gonna need enough to be able to braid, like, 12 inches.
And where are we finding, like, what body part do they need the hair from? Like the back or the chest?
Your theurge was very vague. They just said hair from 3 different individuals. But enough to, braid together to weave into, like, one long strand-ish thing.
Okay.
You notice as you're saying that Alex's hair is a bit curly. I don't know how straight you need the hair to be in order to try to
That's fair.
Have you guys ever woven
do
straw?
so.
Not really, no.
I've woven bread. I've weaven bread.
Okay,
Sorry.
maybe not that.
So-
then. Go on. What were you saying,
All right.
Logan?
We have. Oh, that's right. They don't. Everyone has their own bathrooms, right?
Mhm.
So I was gonna say, a woman's bathroom. There's hair all over the place.
So we're gonna now go from breaking into one person's room into
Oh,
breaking into like
boy.
4 people's rooms.
Oh boy.
They would never know. We can dress up as
would.
cleaners or plumbers.
Does the school have cleaners?
They have to have plumbers.
That's the school. You're the person who would know this,
School does
Kelly.
not have cleaners, Nick.
So is this like
And
is
Logan.
this like J.K. Rowling where poop magically disappears?
Oh god, no. Your toilet's flush.
Okay, then there's plumbers.
Or magic, making sure that everything's working.
Magic plumbers.
Magic plumber.
You know, it's really funny that you should say that because that 100% is a magician's thing.
Someone out there, someone's job is to be the
Hey,
magical
you know
Well,
what?
It's definitely not in the way you're expecting, though.
portion.
And I'm not going to say anything else because it's very spoiler-ish
Ooh,
Really?
for the series,
Cool.
but also
Interesting.
possibly for us.
the plumber's the bad guy.
Side quest is plumbers question mark?
But seriously, guys, what's next?
So, well, I wish Betty were here because I don't.
Me too.
Because well, one, because Betty's awesome, and two, I need consent to lop off some hair from Sandra.
Okay, then.
So, out of all of us in our group, who here has long hair?
James can
Longer
James
enough
can probably
hair.
cut it from the back. You know, he has a little
Is there
extra down there.
a barber shop at this place?
Is there a part?
Not on campus. There might be one in Olympia Village. Might be a hairdresser.
I mean,
Actually, I'll say that there is a hairdresser in Olympia Village.
I mean,
Oh, that's a long walk.
That is quite a long walk.
But we don't
There are
need
how
it.
many of us here? We just need 3 different ones.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
So James will offer up his hair.
All right.
Obviously, you're the one who has to make the
Oh.
key.
I need 2 other volunteers. folks.
I need 2 other volunteers. God damn it, guys. We're trying to break into a room. Give me your hair.
Demetrius is not ripping off his hair.
You don't have to rip it off. You can
You
cut it
just-
off.
It's literally
Yeah,
a
no,
strand.
This is like
Well, you're gonna need a little more than a strand. You need enough to you basically need enough to cobble together like a 12-inch length of hair that you can then weave into a pattern.
What?
So it's gonna be more than a couple strands, but you know.
that's what I'm saying. Go to a barber. We got to do those. We have to do those volunteer work stuff, right? Boom.
God
Clean out a barber. Just saying. Super easy. Don't even need to get consent.
So this is where it all comes down to consent and stealing hair. So guys, on that note, this is where we're going to end the session.
That's the title of this episode.
Until next time. Bye.
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 Oh my god. Thanks for listening. For more information about the world of Arcadia Academy, please check out our website, bookwyrmsandcatdragons.com. That is book, W-Y-R-M-S, and catdragons.com. Everything is spelled exactly how it sounds, except for worms, which is W-Y-R-M-S. And if you like what you're listening to so far, please consider supporting our Patreon, patreon.com/bookwyrmsandcatdragons. Patrons get exclusive access to the behind-the-scenes content that you won't find anywhere else, including a new patron shoutout, an invite to patron-only Discord channels, and depending on the tier, access to our Party Talk segments where we discuss sessions, opportunities to name NPCs, chances to submit a signature spell for the world, invitations to monthly Q&As with our team, and so much more. See you next time!
Some notes for the episode. Apparently, David owns the world's loudest keyboard, because boy did Kelly's mic pick up on it. Sorry for not realizing it sooner. Logan gets inspiration because he asked a really fucking good question. A quick clarification. Our resident cat dragon, Rosie, is front paw declawed. She was declawed before Kelly adopted her. Kelly did not cruelly and inhumanely have this 15-year-old cat declawed. And this should go without saying, but please don't go around cutting other people's hair without consent. It's just not cool. Gordian knot or no.